Tuesday. We had another cancellation on us. So, but you know what? You know what? Lemon into lemonades, brother. And it's funny because DJ, we talk so much on the show about. Let me just pull up the chat here for when people start joining. We talk so much on the show about well, when something happens, kind of think of it this way or do this strategy. And today's no different. Unfortunately, we had it was an unforeseen cancellation. It seems to be this person. It's like the fourth time. I don't know if it's unforeseen anymore, brother. I'm kind of starting to take it personal.
It's seeming like the name of the game. No,
Yeah. But it was it's this. Like what do you do when things go wrong? We talked about in the past about you typically get so upset and pissed off when a deal doesn't go through, but you only do when your pipeline's not full, right? And so for me, when this kind of happened this morning, DJ and I jumped on a call real quick. We said, okay, what are we going to do? So today what we're going to do is we are going to give you, to the best of our ability, our predictions for the next 9 to 12 months in logistics sales. If I had a crystal ball, I'd definitely be playing the old Powerball and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's I think it's important because so what we're going to do is we're going to actually give you our idea, our predictions of the next 9 to 12 months. And then over the next, call it 5 weeks, 4 weeks that we have customers on, we're going to ask them if we're right. To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly. All right. So, DJ, facts. Okay. We see it on the Facebook groups. We see it daily. I speak to people daily. There are so many people getting into logistics now because of the money.
Yes.
I hear it's a good career to make money. I hear it's good for this. I hear it's good for that. And yes, it is. And for all of you out there watching and listening, share your comments as well, because sure, this industry is good to make money, but I do think it's not just it has to be your career in order to
you have to have a passion for it.
At least a passion to serve. Like some people have a passion to serve and they don't necessarily have a passion for their industry, but they love the service part of it, right? Like personally, I know the power of ops. I don't have a passion for ops, but it's part of our industry. Yeah. I have a passion for sales. I have a bigger passion for helping customers create the structure, foundation, frameworks to achieve their goals. That was my biggest passion. And I found when I was selling in logistics, not training salespeople, but selling in logistics. And when I sell today in logistics, the creativity part of it for me is everything. Like when a prospect allows me to be creative and say, well, why don't we try this? Why don't we try that? And like collaborate, right? Like we talked a lot about collaboration over the last month.
Collaboration's key.
Oh man. And just collaborate and bring ideas and strategies to the table. So with collaboration in mind, what do you see? Or do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So, next 9 to 12 months, my, this is actually a little anxiety provoking because you're putting your idea out there, right?
That's
going to happen. So I think with the next 9 to 12 months, there's a couple of things that are going to happen. I do believe technology is going to play a big role. But I consistently sit back and think of one thing. Okay. No matter who you are, I don't care what company you work for. I don't care how much tech you have. I don't care how many relationships you have. There's issues in everyone's supply chain, no matter what. And it's some people say capacity. Some people say, I get all that, but it goes even further than that, right? And the guest we were going to have on today, I was at his place on the weekend and we were talking. He says, no, it's even worse. Like there is gaps all the way down the raw product line to produce their manufactured product. It's not even a fact of us getting our stuff to stores or getting it in customer hands. Like it goes so far deep with a gap here, and then this color won't come in, so they have to go to another color, but it's not the same color. And if you continue that process, then there's all these returns, and they've mapped this process out. And so, like, Call a spade a spade. There's issues in supply chain. I believe my prediction is that the individuals that create a collaboration that are transparent and that bring real value to the table, not commission, real value to the table, are really going to shine. These are the pros that are going to come out on top. You know,
Great.
we've been there before, we've seen it before. Are customers going to want discounts, and when things turn and you know, capacity or whatever you want to call it starts ramping up, are there going to be customers that bail on you? For sure, for sure. I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at 2018, 19, it's just, I think a lot of these things are repeats, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2018, 19,
It's a cycle.
2018. Yeah, there were more bids that went out towards mid and end 2018 than I've ever seen in my life. Like, everybody was doing a bid in 2019. They all abandoned the bids
Yeah.
because the spot market was cheaper. And,
Yep.
you know, some customers are going to go where the savings are because they feel ripped off. They feel that, you know, whether it's
Yeah, they
right,
might have to
wrong, or
recover.
indifferent, it's their
Who knows? They
perspective.
might have to recover from losses of, I mean, I had customers during that period that were losing on average like five. The owner made a bonehead move, like locked in his rates, and they were losing like $500 to $800 a load every time we moved a load. They were it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
eventually you got to
now,
recover from that.
well, but so that brings me to a question then, DJ, because I understand that, right? I totally understand that. But would you not be better to sit down as things start progressing, as things start happening with your suppliers that you know, like, and trust,
Yep.
instead of rebuilding your supply
I
chain?
love where you're going. Yeah, yeah,
Right. And
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think, yes. I think if I was a traffic manager in, or a or like anything, any person of that decision, you know, VP of logistics, whatever that title is, it's irrelevant. But if I was in that position of power to make the deal right now, I would be setting up the next 10 years of my company with the right people in the right places. And that might not be one logistics company. You
yeah.
know, that might be four, that might be two. I probably would try to go no more than four, regardless of the size of my business, because it's the overlap and complications. I don't know. Personally, that's me. That's my opinion, my prediction. But I
I
think
agree.
right now is the time, more than any other time in history, to be completely transparent with your customers. Hey, these are the people I serve the best.
I
These are the
love it.
ones
Yeah.
that I'm able to help. You know, it was funny because I'm doing a lot of sales now for the courses and programs and kind of my next level, setting myself up for the next level.
Yep.
And I actually had a CEO of a logistics company send back to me and go, "Christ, you're persistent." And I'm like, "Isn't that what you want?" Like, if
If you're
you're in line and you're reading my emails and there's an interest, would you not want me to be persistent? Or do you just want me to kind of fall into the back? And I asked him, I said, "Do you not want me to be persistent?" And he says, "No, I appreciate the persistency." I said, "Okay. Would you not want your team to be persistent if they knew they could help a customer?" Because sometimes we have to just walk our customers, we have to guide our customers down the path. And you know, for I don't know. I mean, I look at the way the industry is going, and everybody's talking about the problems and issues. Yeah, everybody's having them. But
yeah,
what do you do? Like, how are you conveying to your prospects? How are you helping your customers figure it out? And I'm not saying as a logistics rep, if I was still in the industry, I'd figure out the ocean ship. No, that's bullshit. You can't. But how do you try and mitigate the issues? Right. And that's, I think, where, you know, Dean was on there. But actually, when John Brewer was on, John said, you know,
yeah.
all these companies with
Shout out,
tech,
John.
like, you can't count on the tech. We're actually reverting back to like the old spreadsheet and the daily
Yeah.
updates and the, like, the, you know, which way is the wind blowing, and
That
throw
was
the
that
drone
was
up in the air
Greg.
and
Didn't
see where
Greg
it.
say they
Yeah.
literally use Excel? They have it on broken down on Excel because it's just
Mm-hmm.
so all over the place.
100%. Here's
Yeah.
Kenneth Carter. Kenneth, good to see you again, my
Hey,
friend.
Kenneth.
My
Thank
new
you,
favorite
man.
morning show. Thank you for helping me become a high performer in my logistics company. Every hashtag everything freight. Awesome, brother. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah, man. I
dude.
like that,
Yes.
Kenneth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
Good morning,
so human
everybody.
interaction is still going to be required 100%.
Agree, Lisa.
100%.
Although Dan, I think you touched on the two T's. You know, technology and transparency. I think are going to be key,
Hmm.
along with collaboration. I think you're going to see a lot more teamwork between, instead of this separation. Well, that's the carrier, and they have their secrets, and this is the broker, and they have their secrets, and now I'm the shipper. And I think it's going to be a mesh. It's got to be a mesh of some way.
100%. 100%.
It's
Jeff says boom. That's a big boom too. That's a
it
big
is
boom, brother. That's
it
a
is a
big
big
boom.
room.
Ryan says, I think we're seeing a lot of movement of traffic managers going to different companies, which can be a positive or a negative as you can potentially gain a customer or lose both. Ryan, I see that. And the gentleman that we were going to have on today, the reason he wasn't on is his
Yeah,
boss literally just walked out on Friday. And we are talking like a $12 billion company, and his boss just said, I had enough. I've had enough. And I asked him why. Like, so this morning we're going back for it because I woke up to a text saying he can't be on the show. And dude, what's going, like, what? He goes, he just walked out. I go, why? He goes, because nobody's listening. Like, as a traffic manager, you have ideas and strategies. And I'm going through it right now with an old customer of mine that is trying to take his company into the future.
yeah.
He's trying his hardest, and he seems to be getting like shattered at every end. The guy turns a
Uh,
corner and he gets smoked right in the jaw, and he turns another corner and he gets smoked in the jaw again. He's like, Dan, I don't get it. But it's if I didn't understand that, it would be like, WTF is going on here? Like, you're so
yeah,
disorganized. Like I said to him on Monday, because there was a bunch of business that came down the pipe on Friday. We're like, okay, we can do this, this, and this. We set everything up. And then Monday, they're like, oh, well, they gave this away and they gave that away. And it's like, okay. And I said to him, I said, there's a reason why, in my opinion, I'm looking at it from the outside and I go, and I might be totally off, but this is so disorganized. No wonder you're spending an extra $9 million a year on freight.
yeah.
Like, you need to simplify this. And if your suppliers right now aren't helping you simplify it, you need to take action. He goes, I would love to. I would love to. Unfortunately, nobody above me is willing to take
See,
action
and
right
that's
now.
yeah, that's
And okay, so now here comes my thought process. Why? Like,
yeah.
we realized in 2020, 21, and now into 2022, your supply chain can fuck you up hard when it
Oh,
comes to
big
cost. Like,
time.
hard. And why are we not paying attention to that? It's like, DJ, you remember when we did our
We,
survey at the
we see
beginning
from
of November
Sam's.
until December, when
Yeah,
we spoke to 150 different CEOs?
yeah,
95% of them said, I'm going to be directly involved in logistics.
yeah.
The
That's
follow-up
crazy.
question where we friggin' screwed up there should have been, how?
Yeah,
How are you
we should
going to
have asked.
listen to somebody that can help your supply chain become leaner? Are you going to listen to somebody? And here's the thing, there's sales reps, then there's the pros. There's two levels here. You're an amateur or you're a pro. And the question
Yeah,
is, which one are you? If you're a pro, you stay ahead of things. Now, we're predicting right now, we could be totally wrong, brother. It could all fall apart. I'd rather be
that's
wrong
the
and
fun thing
share
about
my
doing it,
voice
though.
than not do it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, and
Crazy.
it's chess. I mean, listen, guys. There's chess and there's checkers, and to win, you want to play the game of life at chess, not checkers. So you want to be
Mhm.
thinking of those moves ahead. You always want to be
Yeah.
thinking the next steps, what could
Yeah.
change. And I seen, I forget what the company is. I was just a Phantom something, I think it's called, or Phantom Auto or something like that. But you talked about tech. I mean, this company is getting money thrown at them left and right for like venture capital to start this. Basically, they're going to be like, they're going to be doing all of the tow motor and all everything from behind computers, just like on like a video game. I mean, they're going to be doing. It's going to be crazy, but that changes all of the, as far as lumpers and all of that. I mean, that's a whole different.
So they're going to be meaning tow motor, meaning they're going to like,
They're staring at a screen. They have joysticks like a
mhm.
controller, and they're going to have tow motors on site at different facilities, and they can control them from where they're at, wherever that place is, and they're
See, that's an
driving them.
interesting concept. And when I first think of it, I think total disaster.
Oh, I think so too.
Total
That's
disaster. Because if
insane.
you're in a warehouse on a tow motor,
You
you
better
got to
watch
be
out.
aware as to what's going on. Like, unless it's fully automated where all tow motors are like AI and they all see each other and they can like stop, kind of like the way
That is
Tesla
not
wants
how
the
this
world to be.
looks. This is somebody on a
Yeah.
damn
But
screen.
again, maybe all of a sudden people are going to go, okay, so, but again, think of that. The employment issues we have these days, that
Exactly.
solves it,
That
right?
does.
How many people play video games these days? Like, crazy. I mean, they did it with the military. Why not?
Yeah, it's
Right? People
possible.
fly drones from Arizona in Afghanistan, right? Like
It's,
it's so, but again, I mean, I know
again, it's
that kind of
that's
totally
that's the
went way
tech
off.
part of what's
Yeah,
coming, or what
that's the
could
tech part.
possibly be the
But
future.
at what point is tech too much? And
Well,
I
of
don't know if we
course.
talked about this
We've all
yesterday or
seen the
what it
movie
was.
with Will Smith. Come on, we don't want robots
I
walking around taking
robot, yeah,
this.
yeah. But I mean, even before that, right? Like
Yeah,
we've been hearing for years that computers are going to take over this, take over that, take over this, take over that,
yeah,
and we're getting off topic. But the fact
of
is,
course.
um, today's shipping, today's logistics, today's people. Here's what I always try and keep in mind: what is it that's going to help them do more, be more, and achieve more? Very simple. Like
Yeah,
flatline it, bring it back to baseline. What is going to help your customer do more, be more, and achieve more? And that's a question I think we have to ask each individual customer and adopt a platform, a structure, a strategy to put into place for them, because every customer is different. Like, and every company is different. Every company has different KPIs, different mandates, blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
Where does technology come into play? But where do you come into play? Like Lisa said, human interaction will still be required. And I believe
you're
human interaction from like I can remember back in the day, I think it was Day and Ross, I think was the first company I had heard of. Now, back in the day, that went to an online web rating platform. And I
right.
thought, holy crap, this is going to change the game. Nobody wants to talk to people to get a rate. And at first, it was like, oh my God, this is new and it's shiny and let's do it. And everybody was doing it. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, people were like, well, hold on. Like now I'm talking to a computer, and they started picking up the phone again. So I think it goes in these phases, right?
it
And I
does.
think it's going to be the era of the individual. Now, that individual might use a lot of tech in the background, but customers are going to want individuals over tech. That's one prediction I say, because it is the individual that makes the game. And
Yeah,
you've been there before, DJ. I think everyone that's watching and listening has been there. You
yeah,
go to a spot, you buy things because of an individual,
yeah.
right? I have no preference over Ford, GM, Chrysler, Tesla, anything. I drive a Ford because of my salesperson. Courtney is the
I love
rock
it.
star in my mind. I do it because I pick up the phone, I got a problem, he says, I will take care of it.
Scared
And
of it.
he takes care. And I'm talking from like service to anything. Now, I don't call him when I need an oil change or something, but when there's a problem, he's there. And for me, that's why I'll always go with Courtney.
That's
If
it.
Courtney went to another place, so actually, caveat, as long as they had the tech. But
Yeah,
in today's cars, the tech is
yeah.
this.
It's booming.
Like you plug your phone in and you have all the tech you need, all the tech you'll ever need. Sure, the little gadgets and dials and 16-inch screens are cool, but for me, it's Courtney. That man knows his vehicles. That man knows his stuff, and he's an awesome guy, and he's always been there. My wife and I have been buying cars off him for the last 15 years because of him,
Yeah.
right? So think of that for a second. Why do you do the things you do? Why, as your purchasing habits, the people you like to work with? I work with a company called Groove Funnels because I get on, their people on the chat are awesome. I stopped working with companies because their people on the chat don't know what they're talking about,
Yes. Hold on. You're
right?
talking about like live chat to help you out.
Yeah, live, even
Yes.
live chat. Yeah.
Yes.
When I when
Yeah.
I have email addresses for people at these companies. And when I need something, I email them and it's like an immediate response. Like people are what move the world. Tech is great, tech helps, tech
Yeah.
reduces downtime. I believe there's a position for tech. But I also believe if you are only relying on tech, and if you're thinking your company has all this tech, so you're cool, and you're going in with the tech sell, I think you're missing the boat huge, because tech
Sam.
is not what sells.
Sam said it best. I shared it for from when Sam was on with us last Tuesday. But Sam said it. This isn't logistics. This isn't shipping. This isn't transportation. This is people. In the end, it's always going to come down to people. We're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with people,
Yeah.
from our clients to our
Yeah.
shippers to our everybody. We're
Mm-hmm.
people, and we
Mm-hmm.
have to
I mean,
remember
Hayden
that.
said it. Hayden goes, I love the different insights and perspectives shared here. Thanks, Hayden. And then
Thanks,
Greg,
Hayden.
welcome back, brother.
Hey,
He
Greg.
says, let humans do what they do best. Technology and AI is only there to assist. If that
Bingo.
human has zero value, all the AI will not save your mission.
Yes,
100%.
exactly, Greg.
Yep.
There has to be the personal touch.
Yep.
There's always going to
Kenneth
have to be.
Kenneth says people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Yeah,
Bingo.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? And so, okay, so then my question goes back as salespeople, as professional salespeople out there, is your first call to sell,
Oh,
or
I
is your
like that.
first call to build a relationship?
Mm,
You know, I've
my-
got a couple of opinions about it. Love to
I
hear
have my
what.
opinion if you
Go
want.
for it. Share.
My first call now, really, honestly, thankful to Inception and Dan's program. I mean, guys, this program is second to none. But um, my position on all that changed to my first call really is, do we work well together? So it's more of an exploratory, and do I like this person, and are they going to like me? And
Mm,
if I don't get that vibe, so it's kind of, I guess, what you said. Do you like baseball? I almost have been thinking of, what do I want to talk about? And I'm just going to say that because that's what I care about, really. I don't care about if they have $1 billion of shipping. I don't care. I want to be happy working with them. I want to know that I'm going to like working with them, and no matter what issues, we're just going to be able to work together because I want it to be a team. So whoever I'm working with, it's all about teams. So if they don't have
mhm.
that,
So here's another perspective that I'd like to share with everybody. For the last probably decade of my sales career, I've been cultivating my life.
yeah,
Okay. Does
love
this
it.
customer
I
fit
agree.
into my life vision?
Yeah,
Like my overall life vision? Because after now I'm going on my I'm going close to my 29th year. I'm almost in my 29th year in this industry of selling. All I've ever done is sell. And I've had customers that have ruined my life. Given me money, ruined my life. And what I mean by that is my
yes,
vitality, my spirit, my energy, my
just
my
beaten
my
down.
joy, my
Yeah,
being me have ruined my life. So I'm all about life creation. I will not take on a project. I will not take on a strategy. I will not do anything unless it fits into my life equation.
amen.
Now my question to you is, after the last 2 years of traffic managers banging their head against the wall, not even breaking through the wall, splitting their head right open, and then getting up and their boss going, do it again, do you think traffic managers are going to be focused on their life? Okay, think of this for a second. At what point in our lives does something happen where it changes? We say, never again am I going to do that. Never again. Now, sometimes we slip back into that old pattern, 100%.
We're
That I'm
human.
not debating that. But I think this is going to be a life creation. Like, am I happy in this position at this company? Like, and I'm speaking in the head of a traffic manager right now or a logistics manager, right? Am I happy? Am I really going to put up with this for the next 5 years? Or am I going to cultivate the life I want? And in order to do that, we have to bring the people we want. Like
Yep.
when I decided that I needed to cultivate the life I wanted and just stop taking freight, two big things happened. I changed the customers that I had. I literally sanitized my entire
Yep.
pipeline. I probably got rid of close to 60% of my business. And I said I
Been
would much
there.
rather cut back on everything in my life and be happy and then
Yeah.
build my business with the right people. And I changed
Yes.
my suppliers. I went to a reverse engineered logistics philosophy. I started dedicating and all that. So there's twofold that's going to happen on the customer end.
Yeah.
Again, my prediction this year is the year companies say we need to protect our employee sanity and we
Mm,
need to help our team become like just live life, work
If they
life balance, whatever you want to call it.
if they don't, they're already seeing what's happening. I mean, you just said it. The guest we were supposed to have on walked out. I mean, that's happening everywhere because people are
Mhm.
like, okay,
No, he didn't walk
this.
out. His boss did. But you
Well,
think
yeah,
about
his
that
boss.
for a second. You're
But
the
that's what I'm saying. His
VP of
boss,
logistics for a multi-billion-dollar
yeah,
corporation.
walked out.
Like, walked
Too
out.
much
Now,
stress.
and from what I understood, it wasn't like he had set up another job. He was just like, I am done. This is not worth me ruining my life. Like, I've dealt with Chrysler, I've dealt with all of them. Now I know Chrysler's gotten better with their suppliers, but I
Yeah.
mean, I got pneumonia 4 days before Christmas. Like, sick as a dog, a lung and 3/4 filled with pneumonia because I was just up all the time. It was
Wow.
stress, it was anxiety, and it for like 6 to 8 weeks, and it slaughtered me as a human.
Oh,
It killed me. And
I
I
I can
said,
feel it.
never again.
I know what you're talking about. Just you talking about it. Oh,
So how are your customers feeling, right, DJ? Like
yeah.
how are the
Well,
people on
that's
the front lines? Like, we had Greg here, and you look at Greg, and he's like, "Dude, you look stressed." He's like, "I am,"
oh
but
god.
you see, even him, he was saying like nobody up top is listening. They're
Yeah.
making these decisions arbitrarily. How long do you think that's going to last? And I mean, I can't talk for Greg. I don't know, but it personally, as a human, how long will that last?
Yeah.
And I believe having these conversations, I believe when you go into, call on a prospect, when you're emailing a prospect, like, hey, listen, here's the challenges. Here's who I work well with. Is this you? Yes or no? If it's no, thank you very much.
It's okay. Yeah.
Because why? You can't, it's like when you were younger, right? You meet somebody and you're like, yeah, they're really good, but I don't like this part, but I'll change them. That's not friggin' happening. That
Here,
don't happen.
here's
It never
a
happened. Yeah.
line actually. I wrote it down. I was watching this video of Alex Hormozy. He started acquisition.com, and he said a line that I forget who he called it. From somebody, but he said if you would not do business with someone for a decade, do not do business with them for a day. And I was like, wow,
Perfect. Because
that's
why? So I
exactly.
love that, DJ, because when you get a customer, do you not want to get that customer, onboard them once for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Or do you want to onboard them and 2 months later have to get another one? Because you're not going through the process. Like Kenneth says, I believe it depends on the personality of the distribution manager. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it does.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Kenneth, here's the thing. You're
I
going to get
agree.
along with a certain personality, a certain individual better than another individual. Like, at first, before I realized the human part of it, like before I really got in tune with the human part of everything, I was going after like the product. So I would only focus on
Yep.
pharmaceuticals because why? The money was in pharmaceuticals. But when you look at, load securement, in transit, like all these things, pharmaceuticals can be one of the most stressful industries to be in because you're
Yeah.
talking millions of
Oh
dollars
yeah.
on a truck, not, a little claim. It's a big claim. And
Oh, that's like
it
seafood. I
goes,
had this guy next to me
yeah.
who did seafood. Oh my goodness. I was scared for him every time he did a load.
Mhm.
It
Brother,
was
how many times have you laid awake at night going, man, I really hope that thing just goes
oh,
off
I
because I
hope
didn't
that
have a
thing
good
makes
feeling,
it with no
right?
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff says, first call, I want to learn about who I'm talking to with and their operations.
Yeah.
Yeah, who I'm talking with and their operations. 100%. Kyle
Really.
says, I hope I was on your vision board for 20. You actually are, brother, because we got a lot of things we're going to be working on this year for sure. You
I
100% are,
like
man.
it.
Greg says, I will be give you brutal honesty and transparency every time we talk. If a prospect can do that as well, we move to the next stage of the process. If not, we shake hands and move on. And
Bingo. Yeah, Greg. I
bingo.
agree. I
Yeah.
love that, and I'm with you. Yeah. Just
Mhm.
be truthful.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do we mesh? Is this gonna work? Let's just be honest. No BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what even with that saying. I mean, it was if you get that and you're having to justify, but this or but that. No, but anything. Just if you feel that, especially in the beginning, just get rid of it. Like
Mhm.
it's just gonna be a thing there. There's lots of opportunities. There's lots of people you're gonna mesh with, and we're all different.
100%.
We're all different.
You know what? Like, I was working with some students yesterday, and we looked at like 3 different states, and we did a couple of different things, and there was 57,000 companies,
Yeah.
right? Like, And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know what? Come on, man. Or sorry, no, 2,700 different companies, 2,700, not 57,000, 2,700 different contacts. Sorry, I apologize. Um, and I sit there and I say, okay, 2,700 different contacts in a very specific area, like we did radiuses and everything. And I'm thinking, okay,
Holy cow.
like, come on. Even if 10 or 15 or 20 of those 2,700, like think of it, 2,700, if 10 or 15 of them become clients and each of them is worth $1,000 a week in
That's
profit,
it.
come on, but again, and I said profit, yes, but again, what's the end result? Like, what is the 10-year plan? I like that. And that comment was so bang on. Like, why? I
Yeah.
would like to construct my business where it fits my life mission.
Yes.
And that some people might say, well, I don't know my life mission. Well, my first question is, well, do you want to spend 80% of your time with somebody that brings in 5% of your revenue, will never listen to you, will continuously tell you, do this, do that, do this, do that. If you don't like it, take a hike. I got a million other people behind you. Great. Go get them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested. And I predict again, and I know this is, I mean, we're going through a lot of topics here. We're flying through
We,
like a
we are.
Concorde jet, but it's, you know,
But I think
I
we I think we stayed on topic. I mean, I
yeah,
think I
yeah, I
think it
think we
is
did. I think
I
we
think
did.
it is going to be the future. I think
Yeah.
Sarah has it on her thing. Let's talk supply when she's on there. Collaboration is the future. It really is. And I think there's going to be those that want to hold on to what's theirs. Yes, exactly. How many are we going to mesh with? And that's really what it comes down to. What you mesh with, find what you mesh with. But I think that that's what it's going to come down to. There's going to be people who are going to hold on to wanting to do things their the old way,
Yeah.
their own way. But there's going to be a lot more collaboration. I think it's going to be the
Hmm.
future.
You look at it like this, right? I think if you weren't doing Zoom meetings during COVID, like go to webinars, Zoom meetings, video teams, whatever, you missed the boat. Okay.
Yep.
I think if you think that everyone wants to do Zoom meetings and only Zoom meetings, you're missing the boat. Like now that things are opening up. Um, you know, think of it like this. I guess the best way is this. When you mesh, like you meet somebody, and let's take the business side and move it to a personal side. Okay. When
Yeah.
you meet somebody and you're congruent in a lot of ways, you have the same beliefs, you have the same likes, you have the same desires, all that kind of stuff, right? Like the more things you have in common, the faster the relationship builds, right? I
Yes.
look at you and I, DJ. We've been friends for 9 months, and it feels like we've been friends for a decade, right? Like
I
like it.
agree.
But that is the same way with everyone we call, and you might meet 15 people. And one person, I remember, a couple months ago, when the restrictions lifted, we were at a birthday party. There had to have been 100 people there. I met 20, 25 people. They were great to chat with. One I talked to outside the party.
Uh,
One.
yep.
That's it. Besides the hosts, because they're our friends. But one. But I met 20, 25, could even be upwards of 30 people. Great people at the party, but it was like, okay, yeah, we don't really have much to mesh with. So you
Just not
tend to
meshing.
you split apart.
Yeah.
I believe same thing in business.
Yes.
You get along with certain people in your company, and you put up with certain people in your company, and you really get along with other people in your company. And
Yeah.
it all comes down to that core human, like what are we congruent with? What do we see as eye to eye? And I think if we focus on that in 2022 and just really, say to yourself, like, hell, I would even suggest, and here's the thing, and I'd love to hear who uses it and what the result is. You know what I've realized, and this is what you say to the traffic manager. I've realized over the past 2 years, um, I really help people that I get along with really well, and we have the same mission. Do you believe in this, this, and this?
I love that.
And see what happens
I love
with
that.
that,
Yeah.
because now I believe that playing field, you're level. And when you are congruent, and
Bingo.
it's DJ, it's like anything, right? When the person you're going to has your best like your goal, your best desires at heart,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the decision to say, okay, I'm going to use you so much easier. And
Yep.
you think about the relationships that you've built when you are selling, when you are congruent and when you have things in common with the traffic manager, your timeline of sales just does this. Like it just woof, it collapses huge because that relationship builds that much quicker. Make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Lisa says, thanks, guys.
All right.
I'm taking a lot of notes from today.
Oh,
Awesome.
Lisa,
And
you're the
then
bomb.
Hayden, just looking for
Hayden, I love
prospects who
this.
like to bass fish so we can handle our morning meetings on the water. 1000%, brother.
Listen,
1000%.
listen. You might be joking, Hayden, but I think try that. Seriously, try that because uh, you never know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you land one or two good clients who love that. Yeah, next thing you know, that's your daily routine, and that'd be a fun
And
daily
then
routine.
every year you can go bass fishing 3 times a year to some, like fly in on a plane and everything. It's awesome. All right, DJ, what do we got to bring us out of here? I got a
Yes,
dog barking and
yes.
we're over time.
All right, yeah, we're a little over. So, hey, again, thank you everybody who did tune in. Hayden, again, I see you there. So I can improve their supply chain and their quality of life when I put them on their new personal record. I love it.
Done deal, man.
That is great, Hayden. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in with us and being with us, sharing some of your time with us. We do really want to make a difference for everybody who is watching this, and I feel like we are congruent all with you guys watching. So thank you. Like and subscribe down below, Sales Chatter Live on YouTube, as well as our LinkedIn page. Again, thank you to Daman, our sponsor, American Logistics and Centurion Trucking. And to take us out, I believe this was a Zig quote, but at least I know it came from Zig Ziglar's page. Life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than your comfort zone.
To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education